It took me getting sick to understand how much stress was controlling my life. I used to think I was just busy, productive, even strong for keeping everything together. Until one day, my body finally said no more. In this video, I want to open up how years of chronic stress, perfectionism, self-criticism slowly led me to burnout and eventually illness, and how that experience started changing me. Because if you ever felt like you're running on empty, this story is for you. You don't have to reach breaking point before you start caring for yourself. Hi, I'm Melissa. I'm so happy you are here. I'm still figuring a lot of this out myself, but on this channel, I share what I'm learning about stress, healing, emotional exhaustion, and creating a calmer life, while hopefully helping you feel a little less alone too. It's scary how easy it is to get used to living in survival mode. For years, I thought stress was just a part of adult life. Part of being a mom, a partner, an employee. Everyone around me seemed tired, overwhelmed, juggling too much. So I told myself, this is normal. But looking back now, I realized I wore my stress like a badge of honor. I prided myself on being the reliable one, the one who never dropped the ball, but inside I was constantly tense, always rushing, planning, worrying, never truly resting, not even while sleeping. I ignored the headaches, the exhaustion, that constant heaviness in my chest. My body kept whispering, slow down, and I kept saying, not now. So if this sounds familiar, please know this. Your worth is not measured by how much you can handle. You don't have to prove your strength by carrying more than you should. Eventually, your body becomes the messenger that refuses to be ignored. For me, it started with a constant fatigue, mood swings, sharp pain in my stomach, and then one day during a video meeting, while working from home during the pandemic, my mind suddenly went blank. I couldn't think, I couldn't speak. And when I finally did speak, the words that came out were raw, unfiltered, full of frustration and criticism. It didn't feel like me at all. And moments later, I completely broke down. My body and mind just stopped. That's when I was diagnosed with PTSD and depression. And honestly, at first, I felt ashamed, like I had failed at taking care of myself. But over time, and after many therapy sessions, I started seeing it differently. My body wasn't betraying me. It was protecting me. It was saying, I carried you through years of pressure, anxiety, and perfection. Now please rest. Our bodies are wiser than we think. They don't punish us. They guide us. Every symptom, every ache, every drop of energy, it's a quiet plea. Slow down. Come home to yourself. For most of my life, I believed if I just try harder, I could control everything. My career, my health, my family, my emotions. But perfectionism is really fear wearing a mask. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough. I planned every detail of my life. Meals, work projects, even my baby's nap schedule. But in trying to control everything, I lost control of myself. I wasn't truly living. I was managing, micromanaging, quietly burning out. And then something devastating happened. My father died suddenly from lung cancer. And honestly, it felt like ground disappeared beneath me. Once again, life had to shake me awake. I finally surrendered because it truly felt like everything was over. But something shifted. Maybe all those years in therapy finally took root. Because I realized control doesn't bring peace. Acceptance does. Letting go isn't giving up, it's growing. It's understanding that peace doesn't come from holding tighter, but from trusting yourself even in uncertainty. Healing didn't happen overnight. It wasn't one big aha moment. It was 1,000 tiny choices to slow down. And honestly, there were setbacks too. Because as if life hadn't tested me enough already, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes soon after my father passed away. At first, I thought recovery meant fixing myself, exercising more, eating better, trying harder, doing all the right things. But real healing began when I stopped constantly doing and started being. I learned to rest without guilt. I started saying no without apologizing for it. I replaced what's next with what matters now. I walked in nature, I journaled, I cried a lot. I forgave myself for not being a superwoman. And slowly my body started trusting me again. My mind became quieter, my energy returned. Not the frantic, adrenaline-fueled energy I used to have, but something softer, steadier, calmer. Healing isn't becoming your old self again. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you to keep pushing. For so long, I chased peace like it was something I had to earn. I thought peace would finally come after the to-do list was done, after my body was totally healthy, after my home was perfectly in order. But now, I understand something very different. Peace and balance are not the destinations. They're daily practices. They live in the tiny choices that we make about how we spend our energy. Peace is saying no when you're tired. It's eating slowly without guilt. It's forgiving yourself for all the years you spent running after things that didn't really matter for you. And honestly, when I look back now, getting sick was the hardest thing that ever happened to me, but also one of the most transformative, because it forced me to stop abandoning myself and finally listen. Peace isn't pressure, it's presence. It's remembering you already are enough, right here, right now. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that your body doesn't break to punish you. It breaks to awaken you. Stress, burnout, illness, they're not the end of your story. They're invitations to rewrite it, to start listening now. Choose rest before collapse, awareness before illness, compassion before perfection. You don't need to earn your peace. You only need to return to it. And if this video resonated with you, I'd really love to hear from you in the comments. What was your biggest takeaway? I read every comment and I'll respond to everyone. Now that you've seen how stress can quietly run your life, you might be wondering how chronic stress, burnout, emotional exhaustion, and mental overload can change the way we experience the everyday life. That is something that I'm gonna talk about in my next video. It's the perfect next step in your healing journey. Thanks so much for watching and being here with me. I hope I'll see you in the next one. Bye.